Hello, good people.
What's up, bunkers?
Good to see y'all out there, y'all. This is the Sirwalterj show, and I am in Uncle Larry's car. He is directing traffic on my phone, and we're trying to talk about the what's going on in the market. And I actually would like to refer back to the jobs report dropped last week at the time of this recording, and some people, actually many people, were shocked at the job report, especially the people who were on the opposing side of Biden. Why do you think they were upset? They recognized the numbers didn't lie, and they really couldn't spin it this time. The Republican side was like, okay, you know what? I was watching Fox News. They were like, you know what? We can't. Ain't nothing we can do about this. This is good. This is good. This is good. So it turned into acceptance in a sense.
Well, I every election year, because it's all kind of suspect, right? But you can do things in the market that you can do things like 6 months ahead that will cause things to happen down the road. You can do things a year ahead that cause things to happen down the road.
Yeah.
So there were it's less unemployment and more jobs added, which means that the economy is strong and robust.
Yeah.
We had GDP, gross domestic product. It was up more than we thought, right? So all this good data. So it just shows that the economy is strong under this president, right?
Yeah.
Every single election year, all of a sudden, gas goes down.
Yeah.
Jobs numbers starts coming in good, especially when there is an incumbent president, meaning the sitting president is running again. All of these things, the stars start to aligning magically.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's always suspect, regardless of who's in office, either the Dems or the reps, right? And so that's why, you know, we've been having quarter over quarter good job numbers. Quarter over quarter over quarter. So I guess the one side, I'm independent. I guess the one side just said uncle for right now.
For now.
They don't like it because it makes the sitting president look good. And you and I know it had nothing to do with the sitting president.
No.
Typically
it doesn't have anything to do with the president being, and some people call the president of the United States, whoever he is at that time, a puppet.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Now, corporations, do you think have a lot to do with what the market is doing?
Absolutely.
And are they the ones pulling the strings?
Corporations, and more than the corporations, the Fed, the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, with interest rates and all of that. He has more power than the corporations.
Absolutely.
They say he doesn't, but he actually does. He put some policies in place last year that caused things to be where they are now. As a matter of fact, the reason why inflation got out of hand was because of the Fed.
Sure.
They start printing all of this money and start giving all of these stimmy checks, right? Inflating the market, giving you what cash to spend. The more you spend, the greater demand, the higher inflation goes up.
Sure.
And so we were already, because of COVID, on fire, and the Fed dumped some gasoline on it.
Right.
And that just exacerbated whatever that word is.
Yes, that's the word. It's a good one.
That's good.
So how do you did pretty good, man.
Okay, go ahead.
How do we build this timeline though? Because when the pandemic came, let's say 2020, that's typically a starting point. People were talking about 2020 vision, and all these prophets went forward.
Right.
But it looks like people were they losing their jobs, or were they getting money from the government and they were deciding not to work? And who was benefiting? Was the employer or the employee?
The employer was suffering. The employees were benefiting. Even though nobody was going to work, for the greater public, people were making more money staying at home.
Yes. Right?
And just think about it. You're getting a paycheck staying at home. I know it's a few of you said, not me, but you weren't the greater public.
That's right.
The greater public, the hotel workers, the people that clean the tables, the restaurants, they were actually making more money sitting at home. And the longer that check came in, the longer that unemployment came in, the more they want to stay at home. They weren't going back to work to make less money. And that's what the problem was. Yep. So the truth be told, you and I, savings actually went up in 2020.
Yes, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Credit card debt was flat. It was kind of flat to going down. We have more cash.
Right.
That's why the stock market took off.
Yeah.
People had disposable income and they started investing.
Yeah.
And 2020 was the best. I wish I knew now. I wish I knew then what I know now.
Yes.
Now, I did know a lot, and I made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money in 2020.
Yeah.
But if, hindsight's 2020. Man, I would have been selling his firstborn. Sorry, Rod. Sorry, nephew. Walter. I got too many nephews.
Too many.
But that's what happened. All that extra cash went into cryptocurrency and it went into the stock market.
Right.
And that's why you had the AMC, the GameStops, the Shiba Inu, and the Dogecoins, and all these millionaires being made. And that's what happened. That's what exacerbated it, because people had disposable income that never had it. And just think about it. You weren't spending any gas, driving back and forth to work, eating out, which cost more. You were stuck at home.
My car insurance went down.
Yeah.
The payments went down. The premiums went down. $100. I was like,
you wasn't driving.
You wasn't driving. Went to the airports and it was like it was empty.
Nobody was going to the movies.
Yeah.
Nobody was spending money at the hotels, the airplane tickets, all of that.
Yeah. So did the tables turn on the employer, because the employers were suffering, right?
Right.
So then it seems like now the negotiation, the employee, a guy like you and I, had a bigger investment in this or stock in this, meaning we can now demand a certain amount.
Right.
People
will quit their job, especially in the housing industry, right? Not housing industry, but hotel industry. All right. What is I forget the name of it. Hospitality, right? So you could be working at a restaurant, and you remember you were going in a restaurant and nobody was there to serve you.
Right.
You literally can say, I hate this place. I hate you. I hate your mama. You can say that to your boss. I hate your mama. The day you were born, it was a mistake. And walk across the street, and that employer's own brother would hire you because he needed you, literally. And they would hire you and pay you more. And the employee knew that.
Yep, he did.
So the employee had the upper hand. Now, from this last job reports, people ain't quitting so much. They be like,
holding on to it.
I better keep this job because it might not be here.
Yeah.
So it's representing a turn, right? Stock market is at an all-time high. By the time this airs, the S&P has already hit 5,000, right? Which is an all-time new high. The S&P at the time of filming this is at 4,995. Okay, and it hit. Look at that, 4,999. I think it hit 5. All right, just below, right? So all-time new high for the S&P, and people know something's coming. Something's coming. So that's where we are.
They're holding on. Holding on because people were holding on to their homes as well.
Yep.
And they were holding on to their cars.
And because they were holding on, the prices started going up.
Yes,
because of demand.
The used car, I have a Ford Fusion, and for what I paid was like $18,000 for it in 2014, 2017 actually. The car company that I bought it from wanted me to trade it in. They wanted to buy it because they were going to sell it for $20-something thousand or more, about 30 grand, because people were holding on to their used cars. So the economy is changing, so the people mentality is changing, but are the moods of the people changing? Because there's an emotional aspect here.
Yes. So the moods of the people are changing, because before you could talk to your employer like garbage, right?
Yeah.
And just walk away, and he was like, "You're coming back to work tomorrow, right?"
Right.
Yeah. You told me my head was big. Yeah. That was funny. When you told me my breath stink, oh, that was so funny. You coming to work tomorrow, right? Right. Now, the employers, all these big layoffs, 12,000 layoffs, it was UPS and all of that.
Yeah.
Now the employer has the upper hand. Now they're gonna start talking. Watch, in the next year or two, employers are going to start talking to you like trash and tell you, suck it up, or I'll hire somebody else. The table is turning, right? And so the question is, what should you be doing right now?
That's the next question about the opportunity, because it looks like now there's an opportunity on both sides. First of all, is there always an opportunity for the starving artist?
Always.
Because this is a Warren Buffett statement.
Yes.
Of when people, what's the statement?
Be greedy when others are fearful.
Yeah.
And be fearful when others are greedy.
Okay, help us out with that.
So, for instance, Meta, right? Mark Zuckerberg lost his way, Facebook. And then he said, we're putting $11 billion into these headsets and into the metaverse, right? This was like a year ago.
That's right.
It tanked.
It did.
Tanked, went under $100, all right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about a $200 stock getting cut in half.
Oh, I lost money.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I did was the Meta that I had, I sold it all, right? Now, what happened was it started to tank. I'm gonna pull it up right now, Meta, right? So it tanked.
They started paying us content creators even less.
Yes.
Meta was paying me some decent, and then they started giving me $30 a month.
Right. Now you see this dip. So Meta, before it tanked, it was $372.
This is in 2021.
Right? And then it came down to $90, like under 90, right? Yeah. This is where I started buying.
Yes.
Right? And if you could see that, right there, you see that? Yeah. So what happens is, when people start dumping it and it started falling, they were fearful.
Yes.
And what Warren Buffett was saying is, it was time for us to be greedy.
Yeah.
When others are fearful. So when they started dumping, I got greedy and I started buying.
Where in the dump do you suggest to buy?
So when you see a stock, right, and when you see a stock like on this one, and I can't turn it, and it goes down by 50%, right?
Yeah.
You know, it fell over 75%. You see that, right?
Yeah.
So number one, you don't just buy it.
Right.
But you start looking at what is going on. You know when I started buying? When they had the earnings report and Mark Zuckerberg literally said, I hear you. We made a mistake and we're going to get back to our core audience. Bye.
Yeah. So you invested in the man.
Yes.
More so than his product.
Because when you buy a product, you are buying the CEO's ability to make you a profit. That's what you're buying. That's what you're buying.
Yes.
When I buy a company, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Apple, I am giving the CEO $1,000, $500, $5 with fractional shares. Let's say I give him $1,000 or $10,000 or $50,000. I'm giving you $10,000. And I'm saying, I trust that you're going to turn this $10,000 to $13,000.
Yeah.
I'm saying I trust that you're going to turn this $1,000 to $1,300, to $1,500.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I'm trusting over the next 5 to 7 years, you're going to double this, and even triple this. Yeah. And so that's what you're doing when you buy a piece of a company through the stock market.
So I own it.
Yeah.
So the thing that is in my house or the thing that's in my back pocket,
you own the company.
I own it.
Yeah.
And that's what I've heard a statement. I posted it last year. I was harsh what I said because the Sirwalterj show. I said poor people.
Harsh?
Yeah, I did.
No,
I said poor people buy Nike shoes.
Right.
Wealthy people buy Nike stock.
Right. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Absolutely.
I don't own Nike shoes.
I don't either.
But I own Nike stock.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife goes to Ulta. I own Ulta stock.
Yeah.
My wife can go buy whatever she want to buy because I'm making that on Ulta. That's what I am. This iPhone, I got Apple stock. And I got enough Apple stock to buy many iPhones.
Yeah.
But it started with the amount of one. There's a saying, Walter, that if you can't afford to buy it twice, you can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
I live by that.
Yeah, me too.
I live by that. So when I buy something, when I make a purchase, if I'm going to Walgreens, publicly owned company. Go to Walmart, publicly owned company. Go to Ulta, publicly owned company. Apple, publicly owned company. Starbucks, publicly owned company.
Yeah.
So I'm buying it. So when I walk into Starbucks and I see it's a line, I go, thank you guys for patronizing my business.
Yeah. Fossil fuel and electric.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's this fight. Here we are bringing up this political fight with the left and the right on fossil, and you can tell which side you're on when you hear somebody speak well of electric or well of fossil fuel.
Yep.
Okay, you can tell.
Right.
But here goes the opportunity thing.
Yep.
Okay, because then you got these automobiles, these electric. Okay. People were jumping into this whole aspect of investing in the automobiles.
Yep.
All right. Some people were losing. Some people were losing because they were emotional.
Yep.
Many people were gaining because they understood statistics and numbers and charts, and they know how to read. Then others were focusing on not so much the vehicle, but the stations to where to charge the vehicle.
Yep.
Where were you?
I made the right move at the right time. Okay. So here's what I want to tell you. I was buying EVs and all of that. And everybody that follows me, he did a shameless plug on my page. Stock Up with Larry Jones on YouTube. Stock Up with Larry Jones.
He did the shit.
So when Biden passed the infrastructure bill, and I saw that $7.5 billion of that infrastructure bill was for the build out of electric charging stations.
Wait a minute. Stop.
Yep.
My people say they hate watching the news.
Yeah, well, the news is where you get your information, and information is how you make money.
Wait, hold up. Because they keep telling me that it's always sad news, bad news, murder and crime.
Well, then cut off that news and watch the financial news. CNBC. Yeah. Fox Business.
Yes.
Yahoo Finance.
Yahoo!
The Bloomberg Report.
Yeah.
All right? Wall Street Journal. That's what I consume. I'm not consuming all of this yet. I'm not fake Fox and not CN Spin. I'm not doing that. Because we have to stop being consumers and start being creators. So back to the EVs. So I said, hey, it's time to sell. So I sold, not knowing that it was going to come down as much as I did now. But here's why I'm buying again. Right?
EV?
Yes. And charging stations, right? ChargePoint is beat down. Like beat down, right? That's a charging station, and a few others. Now I'm starting to buy it again. Now, why? People are dumping it because of what happened in Chicago and all of that. Remember, I live by these rules. Be greedy when others are fearful. Ford Motors just had their earnings, literally this week. Knocked the ball out of the park. Had great earnings. Look at that. Look at how much they're up. At the time of this, 16% for a legacy car company, killer. So what did I do? I listened to the earnings call. You know what their emphasis was on? EVs, electric vehicles. They are losing thousands of dollars per vehicle sold. So here's what's happening. Let me show y'all how to make money.
What is an earnings call for the people who
they talk about
to them like they're three?
Earnings call is how the company performed over that quarter.
And can we, as anybody, listen in on the earnings call?
Absolutely. You can earn on the earnings call. So you said, but EVs are down. Why would they talk about it? The biggest growth area with Ford Motor Company was the hybrid, gas and electric, right? But they also noticed that the amount that they're losing per car in EVs is shrinking. Right? Then Toyota had their call, right? What did they talk about? The biggest part of their earnings call? EVs. So now why are they still putting billions of dollars behind it? Because you may not like EVs, he might not like EVs, but your kids will. Just think about this. If you have a 15-year-old in your house, guess how old he will be in 10 years?
if you know the math.
Yep.
Is he 25?
Right. Just think about the 20-year-olds that don't have enough money to buy a brand new car right now. How old will they be in 7 years from now? Right? 27. What are they most likely to buy? a gas vehicle, electric vehicle, they're going to get this battery situation, all of that, long as when they start building out the infrastructure. So let me ask you this question. Would it have been better to buy the stock when it was beat down and everybody was running from it? Because EVs are not going anywhere. It's not going to get smaller. It's going to get bigger. Would it have been better to buy the stock and hold it and dollar cost average, meaning buy a little every week, every month, or buy monthly whenever you get paid? That's what I learned from Warren Buffett. Find a company you believe in and be willing to invest in it for the long run. And don't worry about the ebbs and flows from day to day, week to week, month to month. That's how he became the richest investor.
He put his trust in something that he trusted.
Coca-Cola, was Coca-Cola going anywhere?
Company. Right.
Coca-Cola is your great granddad's stock. And he still has it. Railroad, he still has it.
The government even understands that concept because
Apple, he still has it.
He still has it. The concept of it's too big to fail.
Right.
The government understood that concept. That's why they bailed out those banks during the downturn that we had in 2018 or something.
Right.
Well, no, 2006, 7, 8, something like that. Okay, now
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
Crypto. Some people are saying it's dead.
Yeah.
But it seemed like to me that the government is getting involved in it. And when the government get involved in something, that says something, because gambling was illegal until the government got involved. And now y'all call it the state lottery. Okay.
Do I believe in crypto?
It looks like you believe in crypto right there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you see what? I buy these every single day. Every day I'm buying more Bitcoin. I'm buying more Bitcoin Cash. Solana, Ethereum, even a little Doge and SHIB every single day.
Yeah.
But
it's dying. It's dead.
Is this a little money to have in here or a lot?
What? But it's dead, isn't it dead?
Okay, all right. So I'll tell you if is it dead. I bought a full Bitcoin at about, and you can buy $5 worth. I bought a full Bitcoin at 24,000 something. It was like, why would you spend 24,000? Let's say 25,000, right? I bought a full Bitcoin, right? All right. This is the price of Bitcoin now.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 45,000.
It is.
Do the math.
Yeah.
So 25, 35, 45. So I'm up $20,000 on one Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So BlackRock is the biggest hedge fund or asset manager in the world. $10 trillion with a T. What did they file for? And now that got approved and you can trade it right
Bankruptcy.
now. No. In a spot ETF Bitcoin. Spot Bitcoin ETF. Who else? Fidelity.
I can't get the answer to that on iPhone.
I'm sorry, I'm not talking to you.
It's so nosy, man.
It's just nosy.
Golly,
man, mind your own business. I'm talking to my bro and the people.
I hate them, man. It's so nosy.
Siri, nothing. Nothing.
Don't say
nothing.
Nothing. Sorry.
Okay.
I can't get the answer to that on iPhone.
All right, so go ahead. Don't call her name.
Don't call her.
Don't call her.
Don't call him. That's the man.
Better call Tyra.
BlackRock, you mentioned BlackRock. Who are they?
BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world. They are managing, they manage money of institutions, major institutions.
So there's somebody you should be listening to.
Exactly. So now, BlackRock could say, now that it's an approved spot ETF, now you can legally add it into, what do BlackRock manage? Retirement plans. So they manage one of the biggest retirement plans in the country. What happens if they add 1% of Bitcoin to their balance sheet? Bitcoin doubles. Just like that. So now my 45,000 goes to 90,000 just by adding 1%. So that's why I follow the big money. Fidelity, right? One of the biggest companies in the world, and even JP Morgan is trying to get into it.
Absolutely.
Okay?
You better believe it.
Yeah.
So, the government, you know, they were pushing against this. I mean, they was like, this is ridiculous. This is a farce. This is a one of them looms. Okay?
Yeah.
But now, it's like, ding, 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 ding.
The government is pushing what's called a CBDC, central bank, central bank digital currency, built on the blockchain system. What is Bitcoin or crypto built off of? Blockchain technology.
Absolutely.
So your government is about to digitize your money.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. Now you go, oh, that makes it easier. It makes it easier for them to track every single thing they do with your money.
That's right.
So they just got through calling crypto a scam while they're doing crypto.
Absolutely.
And it's just it's people. I watch this plays out every single time.
Yeah.
Now you go, yeah, but it's money. It's they're doing away with fiat currency. They're doing away with the dollar bills, and now they're gonna be doing away with your traditional credit cards. So now it's digital. So if the government don't like what you're saying or what you're doing, boom, they can come in and wipe your account.
Yes, they can.
Just like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Again, this is the if you can't beat them, join them aspect.
Yeah.
You know, but we had policy back in the.
But what do you
60s and
think
70s.
it's going to do for the people that don't want to be in that system?
Yeah.
They're going to run the crypto.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying everybody dump your money in crypto. I am still 80% stock market, right? I have very little money in the bank because your money ain't working for you. It ain't working, right? And then my brokers are paying me more than the bank is just by having my cash in the brokers.
Yeah. I lived next door to somebody who had a whole bunch of roaches. Okay, this was back in the 90s. When they went in there and sprayed that apartment, guess what those roaches
Oh,
did?
they coming.
They came over to my
coming.
place.
Yep.
All right, and this is the aspect. All right, the government or a central anything will push people like a herd.
Yeah.
And a few of them will get loose and go somewhere, you know, where they could try to survive. This is like eschatology, you know, end time, because in Revelation the people are going to have to take a mark in order to buy and sell.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Others got to flee.
Right.
Jesus told them to flee on the rooftops and flee over the mountains, go over, hide. You know,
Right.
But those people who are hiding got to survive somehow too.
Yeah.
So they've got to find a way to survive through that whole tribulation. So this is like a pre.
Yep. I think about that all of the time. But it's rarely the first thing that comes out, which is crypto. People's like, oh, it's crypto. I was like, no, it's the next thing. And it's just like when somebody was calling the former president the Antichrist. I said, no, the Antichrist is going to be the answer to him.
Yes, the answer.
That's the way that
exactly
works.
Exactly what I said.
Exactly. And I just was like, just you
It's
know,
the answer.
it's that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like the devil ain't going to come just, oh, here I am, the devil.
Right,
Look
no.
at my red suit and my horns. No. He's
That's
cunning.
He's cunning. That's why so many people are saying there is no devil anymore.
Yeah.
Before we were all devil. Now
Right.
it's like, well, I don't know if it's a devil or not because he's cunning.
He's cunning.
He's clever.
Yeah.
All right. So
And he does exist.
yeah, you better believe he does.
Yeah.
you gonna find out.
You gonna find
out. So as we end this thing here, so you decided to help your people. You sat down in your office and you shot a lot of classes.
Yeah.
Brought in some guests to shoot some classes. You inserted even a crypto in your class.
Yes, a whole crypto chapter.
Yeah.
For anybody that don't understand it.
Yeah.
And how they could come in and literally make money with it.
Make money on it.
Yeah.
So you went from the very beginning
Of the stock
of it.
market.
So a person who's never even heard of a stock or a market
Right.
could come to this class and just with their phones and a pen and pencil, whatever you want to do, and sit there and say, oh, this is the very beginning of how to invest
Yes.
for a beginner. I have teamed up with this young man here who I've known for just a few years. And it's been rough. It's been rough, y'all.
I remember the day they brought him
I remember
from the hospital.
I came home and I ruled
Day
the place.
which will live
In infamy. Okay. And I've teamed up with him. And I gone through the class, and let me tell you, someone who knew a lot, I realized, because I'm in school right now at Moody Bible Institute. People say, why are you there? You know the
realize
Bible.
how
You know the
limited
Bible.
your learning
Brother, let me tell you, day one, I realized how dumb I was.
There's always levels. I'm in a class right now, and I go, I thought I mastered this, and literally the first day I was like,
Yo. It's just amazing, man. Yep. But here are the complaints, though. African American, this is African American month for those of you who are watching this live, is that I can't afford to do this, I can't afford to do this, can't afford to do this. And people are passing these people by. But every time they say they can't afford, go in their house, look at their car, look at their hair. They got rings on their fingers. They got
watching
this
you on a $1,200 phone.
$1,200 phone.
You know what? This is
amazing.
This, if I knew what I knew now. Now I've spent thousands of dollars in classes.
Me too.
I still do it. I wished I would have came right out of the day I graduated from high school, because they're not going to teach us in high school. I wish I'd have took my class.
Yeah.
I would be a billionaire now.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And I've been very successful through the stock market, and I teach you guys everything I know in this class. But what we are not trained to do is invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
So there's something new in the class I wanted to let you know. Now you can gift the class. So for someone older that go, I really don't know this, you can purchase the class and gift it to your niece, your nephew, your son, your daughter, and you can have them take the class and teach you.
That's good.
Right? And so that's one of the things that you want to know. But I had somebody take the class, right? And he was a skeptic. He, you know what? I'm gonna just take the class. He emailed the class, right? Came back the next day. He's like, I made $14,000. I got the port. I made $14,000 in a month. And he says, now I'm kicking myself on all of the money that I have missed out on for the years, and the money that I have lost.
Yeah.
And so people need to invest in themselves first. That's all I'm going to say.
They do, because sometimes I go in your comment section and I see people downgrading. You know, they always try to degrade you, because I'm a content creator, and they will discredit you.
The one out of, well, that's what I love. There's always one.
That one.
I'll have 300 comments per video, hundreds of thousands of video, but there's always that one.
Always that one to discredit you.
Yep.
That person, I guarantee you, if you look into their financial, and you'll see
a mess.
A mess.
Yeah.
A mess. You know, so I'm paying one guy like $1,500 a year to teach me stuff, you know, that I share with my community, the bunkers, you know, and I don't, when that bill comes up, I don't cry. I'm like, listen, I done learned so much from this guy. Here, take my money. You know what I'm saying? And it helps me to keep building what I build and helping all these other people out there.
I went to a conference last year. Ask me how much I paid to just go in the class, this conference for 2 days. $8,000. $8,000. And ask me how many times I've been.
How many times?
Twice.
Wow.
So last year I paid $8,000, and this year last year I paid $8,000, and the year before I paid $8,000. Guess where I'm going this year?
I'm gonna say, why don't you go back the second time?
I'm going back again. Why?
Wow.
That $8,000 that I spent, you can put a zero behind that, and that's how much it's made me in information.
Yeah.
And so information is out there. So start with where you are, start with where you are, and reprioritize, right? This is not about selling a class. This is about you just getting information. Get the free stuff that's out there on the internet.
Yeah.
Just get the free stuff. Get the free stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want to get there quicker, the class is I made this class for you. And my theory is, talk to me like I'm 3.
Yeah.
That's my theory with the class. So I explain it in a way that everyone could understand.
I'm a witness.
Yep.
I'm a witness.
Yeah.
Just go into the description below. He didn't know I was going to bring up the class.
Yeah.
I was, we were just talking and shooting the breeze, because I want to educate the people, especially on my Patreon page, what have you. Another shameless plug. Just go to patreon.com, Sirwalterj Jones Show, and we talk about finances and what have you. And this being on YouTube and Facebook, but while we were talking, I'm thinking, you know what? The people can get a one-stop shop of everything we just said in modules. Right there. Instead of going to YouTube and typing in everything we talked about, it's going to take you weeks find all the stuff we're talking about. But
Months.
right, yeah, months, right. And then you
Yeah.
got one price you pay,
Right.
and it's
Everything is laid out in the order that
Everything
you
is
need
laid
to
out.
learn it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was built precept upon precept.
For you right there.
Yeah.
All right. If you're on my Patreon, it's gonna take us a long time to go through the step.
Mm-hmm.
But with this class, it's like you're right there. All right. And so it's in the description below. It's a full disclosure. It's the affiliate link.
Yep.
All right. Just go to my link. Matter of fact, push that for me, brother.
Yeah. Well, he has an affiliate link down below because I have a link that I shared, but I created a link, an affiliate link for him because it helps to support his page, right?
Yes.
So I don't want you guys to come to Stock Up with Larry Jones and download the link. I want you to download the link on this page. Stock Up You. Come and join thousands of us. And just to let you know, we hit, because the class is so good, we hit what's called the platform is Teachable.
Yeah, teachable. Yeah.
We hit the Teachable top 100.
Ain't that something?
Yep, because of engagement, people liking a class,
Crazy.
and people. Yep, yeah.
This is a great month of
Yeah.
remembrance for African Americans.
Yeah.
All right. And I want to do a part 2 with you when you get an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Jones, because I want to talk about ownership.
Yep, ownership is
I
everything.
want to talk about ownership and how important it is for us to own instead of having to be begging certain persuasions.
Right.
Can we? And then they let us in, and then they say, then they restrict
Right,
us.
you got to do this. You got to do this.
You got to do all these things.
I've been offered $1 million for my page. $1 million for my page, and it was only for a few years contract, and then after that few years, which they will help grow my page, they will give me the page back with full up. And I said no. I literally said no.
Smart.
I get to, as you know, on Sundays, I get to be inspirational and talk about scripture.
Good.
I'm not dumb enough to think that I'm smart enough that I had everything to do with my success.
Wow.
I'll say that again. I'm not dumb enough to think that I'm smart enough that I had everything to do with my success. I know it's God allowed. I know it was my steps was ordered by God, but because I honor him and because I'm not ashamed of him publicly, he's not ashamed of me privately.
Good stuff, man.
Yep. And so that's why I chose to stay independent, because I want to own, like you said, everything vertically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. No one could tell the Sirwalterj Jones show, shut up and shut it down. This is mine. I built it. SWJ Media. And you have Miralax.
Yep.
Miralax. This is
Miralax
what
Media.
we built.
Yes.
This is ours. And we thank God for the people who are watching us, our tribe and our community who trust us and follow us. And they have benefited from us. I always say, and I learned this from the gurus back in the day, 20% of the people are going to do 80% of the work.
That's true. That's true. With everything.
80%, and that's just the way
Everybody in church know that's the truth.
Everybody know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So I want to thank you all for coming on here. We're 38 minutes in, and so thank you all for taking up your time on this wonderful whatever day you're watching it.
I got a challenge.
Okay, sure.
Whoever takes the class, after about 30 days, just I want you to just consume a module a day, right? I want you guys to come back and leave a comment right here. And Walter's going to pin that comment.
Yes.
Said, I took the page, I applied it, and I made money.
To the class.
To the class.
Yes.
And I want to see it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. That would be great. That
I
would
wanna
be
see
amazing.
that.
That would be amazing
Yep.
to do that.
Yep.
And I will get the notifications on YouTube if you
Yes.
left the message, okay?
Yes.
I would love to see that, and I definitely would pin it because
Right.
that's a wonderful testimonial for others who are saying it's too much, and
Right.
you know how y'all do in church about the whole tithing thing. They'll say, don't say you can't afford to tithe, you can't afford not to tithe, and they'll bring that in there. And I get the whole concept,
Right.
But the concept works the same way here.
Yeah.
I have given a lot of money to classes like this, and I realized over time how it benefited me so much that I had made triple, quadruple what I had invested in that class.
Now I do have some classes that was back in the day, cassette tapes.
Yeah.
That they were just bookends.
Yeah.
Because they started teaching over my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah, too advanced.
yeah.
Yeah, too
And
advanced.
so I'd studied everything not to do, and I keep it engaging.
Absolutely,
Yep.
yeah. So if you look at the class and say, I can't afford it right now, here's what you do. You take your time out, and every paycheck you just put something away, because you do that anyway.
Right.
When you want to get your hair done, wherever you want to go, you always put money away until it's for something that will benefit you for over a long period
I
of time.
challenged a couple. I challenged him to not buy the next video game, and I challenged her not to buy the next purse. I challenged them that, right? So he said she's not going to listen. She's not going to listen. Truth be told, women are better investors than, because they are less emotional and they make more money.
Yeah.
So I challenged them to get their own portfolios. They open up their own fidelities, right?
Yeah.
Here's what happened. Sister girl sold some shoes and some purses, and she's like, okay, I'm going to make an investment. She wouldn't wear them anyway. And she bought the class, right? She bought 2 classes. She bought one for her son, and then she bought one for her, right? Because he doesn't live in the same household. Sister girl, its portfolio is killing it. Now, according to her, she's made enough to buy multiple companies. And guess one of the companies she owns? The company that owns the high-end purses. So you guys gotta understand, these high-end purses, there is a publicly traded company that owns luxury brands.
Yeah.
And I think it's called Brands, a luxury brand, something. And she bought, that was one of the stock that she bought. Now, you don't have to buy a whole share.
Right.
If the share is $3,000, you don't have to spend $3,000. You can spend $100. There's something called fractional shares.
Right.
I teach you that in the class. So I don't want this to be too long, man. We got to shoot this up in parts.
Yeah, we do. And I'll chop this up in parts. Don't worry about that, y'all. And you know, Sirwalterj Jones show, we typically go this long anyway.
Okay.
but anyway, we'll do that. I'm fully wrapped up because it's Chicago, and it actually today was 58 degrees. It was 58. And I was a little shocked, so I'm overdressed because typically it would be in the 30s in Chicago right now.
Right.
And so if you see me dressed better and more elaborate than him, it's because we in the car now and this thing says 72 degries.
That's it. That's it.
And I'm burning up.
I'm burning up. I keep cutting it down, cutting the fan out.
I'm burning up.
They don't know nothing about that.
They don't know about that.
They was at Sunday school.
Yo.
I got my Dwayne Wings.
Dwayne Wings. Okay. Yeah. Dwayne Wings. All right. I know mine. It's a different world, y'all.
It's a different world.
From where we come
from.
All right. Yep. Take care of yourselves and one another, and we'll see y'all again.
Wall Street looks like us now.
Yeah. I love it. Wall Street looks like us. I have never thought I'd ever see so many of us.
Yep.
You and I rang the bell. When was that? Last month, something like that.
CBDC, Chicago Board of Trade.
Chicago Board of Trade.
And they, yep.
And it was just beautiful.
A major multi-billion-dollar company asked me to come down and be with them as they ring the bell. Power.
And I counted on the floor one black guy down there.
Yep, on the trading floor.
Not one woman was down there.
Yeah.
It was one black guy.
Yeah.
And the only blacks that was in that whole room was me, you, Keenan.
And Keenan Grace, another influencer. Yep.
Yep. And that was about it, you know. But that doesn't represent the whole, because there's a lot of us now are in it, investing, in a lot of the retail investors, what we call them.
Retail investors.
Man, these young people especially, man, that millennials, ooh, they done jumped in this thing. And them hedge funds, they hate y'all.
Yep. The millennials are in, and some of these millennials are making money. As I travel, they're just making money, and they get it and they understand it. Yeah. And you don't think they understand it better than you.
Better than you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're like my grandson understand my phone better than me.
That's it.
And he 3.
Yep.
All right. Okay, y'all. Take care of yourselves and one another.
Peace.